episode of The Follow-Up. I'm Eden, and this is my dad Noah, and every week for the past 2 years, we've just been sitting on my bed and having a conversation about something we've wanted to talk about. And this week, we're going to talk about, should schools have longer lunch periods?
All right, so why this topic this week?
So, I thought of this topic because in The Week Junior, which is a kids magazine based off The Week, which is a grown-up magazine, and it was in the Big Debate. And Big Debate is something they have every week, and it's two sides, and you can see which one you agree with.
Mm-hmm.
So, should schools have longer lunch periods? I thought it was very interesting, because I have been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, it was very, the term is apropos, so very, very appropriate that this was a topic in The Week Junior. And The Week is an adult magazine that we've been getting for a long time that covers all sorts of domestic and international topics, entertainment, uplifting moments, low points, the economy, and that's got a mix of everything. And in The Week Junior, it does that for kids, and it includes sports, food, entertainment, all sorts of things.
Right. And even recipes. Yeah,
recipes and interesting facts and news items that are just written about for someone your age.
There's a whole page that's unbelievable. You would never think of it. Like one thing that I learned, they make jellyfish flavored potato chips. It's true. Yeah.
That was a true thing? Hey. All right, so the big debate this week, are school lunch periods too short? Now, we saw the big debate. We have not looked at it. We just saw the headline.
I can already talk about that.
Purposely did not look at the pros and the cons.
Right.
Because I wanted to hear from you about when you have lunch, how long it lasts.
Schools have to have longer lunch periods.
Okay, so
that's my main point.
All right, so go ahead. So what's your lunch period like?
My lunch period, I'm in 3rd grade and I have lunch at 11 o'clock in the morning. And I have lunch for about 17 minutes.
Okay, so it's a 17-minute
lunch period.
So that's from when you leave your classroom to when, like, what do you have right before lunch?
We have recess. So our whole, when we're out of the classroom, is 50 minutes.
50?
No, wait. So if recess is 20 minutes, it's probably like 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Okay, so recess.
So recess is 20 minutes.
And when does that start?
That starts at about 10:40.
10:40
to 11.
Okay, and then you go inside.
And then school lunch kind of starts at about, like, after we get inside, it's already about 11:05.
Right. Wash your hands.
You wash your hands. You sit in your seat for, like, 3 minutes.
Okay.
And then they call you to get school lunch. Then you're usually waiting in line for about a minute. And then you get, like, when you get back to your seat, it's like 12 minutes each.
Okay.
Like 15 minutes.
Okay, so that's if you're getting school lunch.
Correct.
And so this year you've been getting it more, just like more things on the menu.
Good.
So what about if you bring your own lunch?
That's just, you probably get an extra 3-4 minutes.
So as soon as you sit down, you can start eating. Okay. So you think the maximum amount of time spent that you could spend eating is about 17 minutes?
17-20.
17 to 20 minutes. Okay.
But it depends, because sometimes the teachers let you have a few extra minutes to eat. Sometimes they said you've got to clean up now at 5 minutes.
Right. I don't remember how long we had for lunch, but I do remember that we had recess after lunch, and I think our recess was about 25 minutes.
But you probably had an hour out.
Because we had a second recess later in the day.
Did you have an hour out of the classroom?
I don't remember. But
I feel like most people, they have recess for half an hour, and then they have lunch for half an hour. Like they try, or like 40 minutes. Like they try to have like an hour out of the classroom.
So do you feel rushed?
I feel very rushed. Not at recess, but at lunch.
At lunch, you feel rushed.
Yeah, like there's no time to talk. Last year, it felt like 40 minutes for lunch. And this year, it feels like 10 minutes.
All right, so now I'll play the other side. You say there's no time to talk. Yeah, I mean, I did plenty of talking and having fun at lunch, but I'll play the side of the Department of Education that would say, well, you're not at lunch to talk, you're at lunch to eat.
That's correct. But also, you should be allowed to, like, like maybe like talk for a few minutes while you eat, like have a conversation, but still be eating at the same time.
I agree. You shouldn't have to just sit down and go.
That's literally what you have to do.
That's what you have to do. Okay, now what if
you want to eat all your lunch and be full, that's what you have to do.
So when you go in line to get lunch, so I remember when I used to get lunch in elementary school, you could say, you went through the line and you had the lunch workers that were there, and you could say, could I not have sauce? Could I have butter? Or
we don't have butter.
No, if you're having pasta or something, could you could say like, I don't want this.
Like, can I give you an example?
Yeah.
So let's say it was pizza bagels, string beans, and a garlic naan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say that.
Right. Well, if we had that, everything, you would have to put everything on the plate, I think.
So,
yeah, you did, for sure.
If you don't take your vegetable, you have to take your fruit. But, so let's say I said, can I have like string beans, whatever. So, I'll say string beans. I could say, can I please have a pizza bagel and garlic naan, but no string beans, please? And I'll just say, just take your fruit.
Okay. What we found a few times is that the menu it's not always correct.
Right.
Especially more so with the side dishes.
Yeah.
Which you said are pretty good. So what happens then? The menu's not correct, and then what, you're hungry?
It would just be like, I'm not hungry after lunch, but like, if the menu's not correct and I don't really take it, I just get a little hungrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you brought your own lunch, but you want an apple? Can you go up and get an apple?
No. You have to get a full lunch.
So if you brought your own lunch and you want an apple, you can't just say, oh, can I please go get an apple?
No.
So if you brought your own lunch, you could still get a full school lunch?
You'd have to eat all your lunch and still be really.
So the lunch aid says.
But you can't get home lunch and school lunch.
But you just told me you could.
But if you wanted just an apple, like if it was like, but if you still had a lot of time, you finish yours really quick. But you can't just take an apple or just the milk. You have to take a sandwich, because now you can't take the real lunch. You would have to take some butter. So you have to take a full sandwich, an apple, and a milk.
Even if you brought your own lunch?
Correct.
So you just told me, though, that if you brought your own lunch, you couldn't get school lunch.
No, I said you could if you just had a lot of time.
If you had a lot of time and you're still really hungry, you could.
You could ask for an apple, but then you would have to get all full.
So then you'd have to get a full school lunch, even if you didn't want it, and then you'd have to throw out the rest that you didn't want?
Basically. But you're not.
Wait, I don't know, but I don't want to say basically, because then is food being wasted or not?
Because the person at my table was hungry, but he didn't care because he got some and ate it because he was hungry.
Okay.
But I think you would have to, but that's the only time I see it.
Okay, so all right, I'm going to read just a few facts here at the top, and then you can read the pros and cons, okay? So it says, are school lunch periods too short? I'll read the synopsis, the 4 bullet points, what you need to know. Most school lunch periods in the U.S. are about 25 minutes long. So that would be nice for you, right? If you had 25 minutes?
I asked the lunch person how long it was, and they said 25 minutes. But when I looked on my watch, it might be because that day, we had to, because we were chatting so much in line, our lunch period was shorter.
So this is something that you should now pay attention to.
I'm going to try to pay attention.
As soon as recess ends, look.
It's about 11.
And then look again when you walk into the building.
Yeah.
And have that time, and say, all right, when it's over.
But it definitely was 17 minutes.
Okay.
I've checked 3 days around.
It says students make healthier food choices when they are not rushed, says the American Academy of Pediatrics. So healthier food choices, meaning I would imagine this would be if they have everything on the plate and they don't feel rushed, then they're more likely to then eat everything that's on the plate. Okay? About 30 million students in the U.S. qualify for free or reduced cost school lunches, providing a consistent and nutritious meal. So school lunch is free in New York City. About $1.2 billion worth of food is thrown away at schools each year in the United States. Much of that is fruits and vegetables that children don't eat. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
So you see a lot of it that goes
into the trash.
Yeah,
like right now, they only have like full apples usually, and I can't eat it. Like, I just can't. So I throw it out.
You can't what?
Because I have 2 wiggly teeth up here, and I can't eat an apple.
So when you have school lunch, then we should send you with fruit.
But I usually get the vegetable if it's not steamed carrots.
Okay, but we can send. Okay, but we could also send with fruit. So, okay, so when you get that apple on your tray, because you have to take it, correct?
Yeah.
And you don't eat it, they can't take it back.
No, because someone already took it. Like, you can't.
That's crazy. Because they should just be able to wash it and give it to somebody else.
But it's in a wrapper, but you're not allowed to take it back.
It's in a wrapper?
Yeah, but you're not allowed to take it back.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to bring that up at the PTA meeting. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right? That's just a waste.
Yeah. Like, I've never thought of bringing it back to them, but I'm like, but you should, but they've never taken it. They've never said, if you don't, because I heard it in line, but you have to take it. You would, because they have to give you one. They have to give you one.
I understand they have to give it to you because that's required by law.
Right.
But if you don't eat it, can you take it back to them?
But no one has. And they never mentioned that you could.
All right, well, I'm going to bring that up because you should.
You should be.
Okay. All right, so let's read these 3 reasons why school lunch periods are too short.
It can take students a long time to get to the cafeteria and grab their food, which uses up a lot of their lunch period. That is true.
Understandable.
But this year, they made it actually better, is that one class is allowed at one time, so you're not all the way there.
How many classes? So is it just it's the
classes.
whole 3rd grade?
Yep, 2 classes.
So that's probably about 60 kids, 65 kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, I think 70.
The other classes, about 35 kids too?
I think so. Yeah, about
okay.
that. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Students who have to eat quickly often end up eating less nutritious meals, which can make it harder for them to learn. I agree.
You understand what that means?
Yeah. So, if you're just, not eating all nutrition gives you energy.
Good energy, yeah.
Good energy. And then you're just not, you don't have any energy.
And it's good for your mind. Okay.
Mind. The lunch period is an important chance to chat with friends and take a break.
I agree.
But I would say recess is more.
It's different. Like recess, you're running around playing games. Yeah. Right. Okay, so I agree.
The nose.
Sure.
3 reasons why school lunch periods are not too short. School is for learning. As much time as possible should be spent on lessons.
All right, but you gotta eat.
You gotta eat.
Yep.
To be doing those lessons, you gotta eat. Students might use a longer lunch period to socialize or go on their phones, which isn't a good use of time.
Well, I think socializing is a good use of time. Going on their phones, what's the point of that?
Right.
I don't even think you should be able to have your phones at lunch.
More time for lunch could mean an extended school day, which would interfere with other activities. So
5 extra minutes is going to interfere with other activities? Come on. And also, do you think that throughout your school day, like in the classroom or another activity, throughout the entire day, are there 5 wasted minutes combined in all these other periods?
No.
Oh, really?
What?
So you're saying that all your other time in school is used perfectly?
No, it isn't.
Okay,
there are wasted minutes.
So there are wasted minutes.
There are a few wasted minutes.
There are wasted minutes. There are some other wasted minutes throughout the day.
Where people aren't focusing, there are some wasted minutes.
So
we're just always talking. There are wasted minutes.
So there's So when they say there that, that could interfere with maybe after-school activities if you add on to the school day, well, what about all the other time that is wasted during the day that could be, if you combine that time, all right, well, here's your 5 extra minutes for lunch.
Right.
Yeah. I think so.
But even if they just extended school 5 extra minutes, they could do that.
I agree with that.
Just give kids 5 more minutes for lunch.
Yeah.
I'd rather eat more lunch and have 5 minutes left of school, 5 more minutes of school day, just to eat some more lunch. I'd much rather that.
Yeah, it's also, I think it's crazy that you're eating lunch at 11 o'clock.
And 4th graders eat after us. But we...
Well, I understand that 4th graders why older kids would eat after you.
Right, but they eat right after us. But second grade eats last.
Huh.
They eat at about 1:20.
Come on.
Maybe, no, about 1.
Really?
No, they finish lunch at about 1.
Okay.
So I think it's like, so for me, last year, I finished lunch at about 1:05. And we had lunch about...
And the school day ends at 2:50.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't have a long... we didn't have a long... what do you call it? Afternoon. So... It was like... We had from like 12:30 to 1:05. We had lectures. No, maybe like 12:25.
So I think next week, no matter what we talk about, you'll have an exact update on lunch timing.
I will.
So you'll look at your watch. Here's when recess starts. Here's when recess ends. Here's when we actually get into the building for lunch. Yeah. Here's when we sit down for lunch.
Yeah.
Maybe you could write it down.
I'm gonna do each one day.
Okay.
And I'm going to write it down. So that's 5 things.
Well, no, I wouldn't do one thing each day. I would try to keep it all in one day, and then the next day try to do it again.
Good. It's a good idea.
You sure? Or are you bored with it?
No, it's a good idea.
Because you're yawning. All right, I love you.
Love you.